Alright, welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while since I've done a video. I'm trying my best to get back to it. You know, with the wife and the kid at home, I don't have as much time as I used to, but I still make a point to travel quite a bit. So today is a very interesting video. I am in Colorado. I flew to Denver this morning from home in Southwest Florida. And my cousin Jason, who I'm sure you remember from some Las Vegas videos and from the video when I shot my hand, I'm riding around with him today. And we are in Colorado, headed back up to Phanton Canyon Road, the place where I accidentally shot my hand. And I will link that video below if you haven't seen that one. I have a whole description of events and everything. But the reason I wanted to do this video today is because a lot of that stuff wasn't in the vlog. Like, I described it all. I was vlogging that trip right up until I got injured, and then it kind of just stopped, and I cut in with the description later on. So I'm going to show you guys the road where all this happened. And we're going to go back to the spot where I accidentally shot my hand. I'm going to show you where that was. We're going to do all that. We're going to go to Victor, Colorado, which is the spot where we got cell phone reception and the ambulance came and got me. We're going to do all that today. And I think it may even be on the way back out of here to drive by Woodland Park Hospital, which is the first hospital they took me to before I got transferred to the trauma unit in Colorado Springs. Yeah, all kinds of good stuff like that. So that's what we're doing right now. We just left Colorado Springs. We're on a big long road that leads over to Phantom Canyon. I'll show you guys what the scenery's like. And being a Florida boy, I haven't seen mountains in a while now, so this is always cool to get back out here. And no, we will not be target shooting today. My wife made me promise that we wouldn't because of what happened last time. Again, videos links down below in the description. Check that one out if you haven't seen it. My cousin Jason, he lives here in Colorado, not in this neck of the woods. He's from Metro Denver. I'm not going to tell you exactly where he lives or anything, but he doesn't like to be in the videos. I'm going to respect his wishes like usual, but he's driving right now. And he can hear me even if he doesn't want to be in the video. I just wanted to thank him again for taking care of me after I had the hand injury. Again, go watch the other video. I'm going to stop talking for now, but I'll show you guys the start of Phantom Canyon Road. Then we'll hike off into the woods for the actual spot. And one thing we were talking about, it's a pretty remote spot where my injury actually occurred, and before I accidentally shot my hand, we had a bottle target set up. It was like a ballistic bottle, like kind of looked like a soda bottle, and it was hanging from a tree branch that we were shooting at. It's been 4 years since that happened. That was Labor Day weekend of 2021. It's now October of 2025. Highly, highly unlikely that that is still there. But again, it's a very remote area. You wouldn't just pass by and see it. You'd actually have to stop on that specific spot on the road. You'd have to hike in there. So who knows? We're gonna go figure that out. And my wife actually asked me, said, "Are you guys gonna find the bullet that went through your hand?" I said, no, because that'd be impossible, because the angle it went through my hand, came out the other side, and went just who knows where off in the woods, so that'd be impossible. If it had gone straight down into the ground, maybe we could have tried with a metal detector, but I mean, who really cares? That was a really bad day in my life. So this is Phantom Canyon Road. We just got onto it. Eventually it's going to become a dirt road, and we have about another 20 miles to the spot where I shot my hand. Very pretty back up in here. It's about 60, we say probably about 60 degrees right now. A couple miles further in, the road is now dirt. And we've got probably another 25, 30 miles of just roads like this. So here's the official entrance to Phantom Canyon Road. Here's the sign, and I do remember this from 4 years ago. This is one of the tunnels through Phantom Canyon Road. Just all natural tunnel carved out through the rock. So we're a few miles in, very remote. And I'm going to get out and show you guys what this yellow sign is here. All right, I got to bring you guys down here and show you what this sign says. That is a Toyota Tacoma that my cousin rented from Enterprise for the weekend. He wanted something that was zippy and good on the highway because it's a couple hours from where he lives to get down here. And his Jeep has big off-road tires on it right now, and he didn't want to drive it that far on the highway, but he does still have the same Jeep that took me to the hospital when I shot my hand. He does still have it in the family. All right, so here's the sign. Does that look familiar? I think I remember talking about we had to hike a quarter of a mile away from the road last trip. All right, continuing further on in Phantom Canyon Road. We're still about 5 miles to the spot where I shot my hand 4 years ago. Pretty much the same as we remember it. It's my cousin who lives, you know, not in this neck of the woods, but within a couple hours of here, said this area has had a lot of rain this year. So there were a couple of spots on the road that were pretty washed out that I won't say like needed four-wheel drive to get through, but some spots that were a little rougher. But other than that, exactly the same as I remember it. We've been trying to find a spot where we can safely walk down and see the creek, because we've been next to the creek this whole drive, and I think we finally got one right here. All right, we finally found a spot, made it down to the creek. There's a lot of steep drop-offs and like things we just didn't want to go down without, you know, really any hiking or climbing equipment or anything, so we waited for a safe spot. And that water is cold. It'll probably be delicious to drink it. Be a good temperature for that. That is cold. So this is the spot where I shot my hand 4 years ago. It's this curve in the road, and I do have GPS coordinates of it, so we're not guessing. This is the same parking spot we had last time. Like I mentioned earlier, we were in my cousin Jason's red Jeep that day. This is a rental pickup. And we went in right like this. I'll just take you guys with me along for the journey. Jason's here too. He just doesn't want to be on the video right now. And we went down in this way. And it was just down in here. Yeah, it's like a quarter of a mile then, because legally you have to be a quarter of a mile off the roadway to shoot, which is still the policy now. Shooting is still allowed in here, but right now it's just on pause because of wildfire risk. It's really dry. So it's temporarily not allowed to target shoot in here, but that's not a permanent thing. All right, so it was down back in here further. In a minute, I'm probably going to pause the video for a second just so I can check the GPS coordinates and make sure it's the exact spot. And there was a dead tree that had fallen over lying on its side that we hung the target from. I'm wondering if that is still here or what happened to that. Okay, this is looking really familiar, but I want to say it was further in. Alright, I'm not going to show you, Jason, but you think it was this way?
I thought we crossed and went up that way.
Okay. Let's do it. You take the lead. I'll pause the video for a minute, and I'll come back when we figure this out for sure. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit surreal and strange being here. Like I said, for context, if you're new here, go watch that video. I'll link it down below of me accidentally shooting my hand 4 years ago in this very spot here in Colorado. This is off Phanton Canyon Road. This is about an hour and a half into the mountains from Colorado Springs. And let me show you what's here. So right now I am standing in the same spot that I was shooting from, and the same spot where the bullet went through my hand. We had GPS coordinates, and then Jason remembered, you know, we had a little bit of an area here. There's a few 100 feet wide. The GPS wasn't super precise, but it got us close enough, and we found it. This is definitely the spot. The ballistic bottles we were shooting were hanging from this dead tree, which is still here. The dead tree was a lot more alive, like it had just recently died 4 years ago when we were here. But now it's just really starting to rot and fall apart. But I think I mentioned earlier, we were like, we'll be shocked if those ballistic bottles were still here. But check this out. They are still here. The red one and the orange one, both that we used, are still here. They were in the grass, like one of them was right here, buried. The red one, I believe, must have been on the ground the whole time, because it's not that faded from the sun, so it was down here in the grass in the shade. But this orange one was hanging up when we left. After the bullet went through my hand and it went into emergency, just survive and get out of here mode, we left the targets behind. It was hanging with a rope from this tree, like a little string, right on this branch right here. It was hanging down like right here. And we left it that way, so we're wondering if an animal gnawed away at the rope, or if the rope just, you know, disintegrated from 4 years of exposure out here. We don't know, but the bottles are still here. So we were shooting 22 bullets at first, and then we switched over to 9mm, and yeah, you can see the video on that other story. This is the first one. See a little 22 bullet holes. These are the exact blast bottle targets we were using. The one that was hanging up when I shot my hand was this orange one. This is orange, but it's really faded. We were shooting 22, and then we switched over to 9mm. The first round that I shot out of that Springfield Hellcat handgun hit right on the bottle. Bullet hole was right here. Came out right here, because you can tell, because that's too big to be a 22, and that's the only shot 2 rounds after the 22 was done. One of them went in the bottle, one of them went in my hand. And yes, we are saving these. We're gonna bring these home as souvenirs. I cannot believe they're here. But here is my hand. I still have the scar and everything. Obviously I will for life. The bullet went in on this side. You can kind of see the scar on the video. And then it came out over there. And the whole story's in the other video. But my hand is, considering what happened, it's pretty dang good. I have no feeling in my 2 middle fingers. But other than that, I have a pretty good functional hand. It looks a little awkward when I grip. My grip strength never quite came back to 100%, but it's probably 70%. It's decent. I have a functional hand for the rest of my life. Here's the branch up close. There's some bullet holes in it. I'm almost debating if I should just, because the tree is dead anyway. It's been on the ground for 4 years. I'm debating whether I should just take this piece off and take it home as a souvenir, but I flew to get here, so I'd have to like FedEx this home, and it'd probably be expensive, and I'm just going to leave the tree in its natural habitat, I think. But we are going to take the bottles with us. So yeah, that's it. It's kind of crazy to be here all this time later, you know. Not having a medical emergency, just totally okay. It's just, life is wild. You never know what's going to happen. All right, so we're back at the road. It was kind of surreal to be there. Like, it wasn't like crazy or anything, but it was, brought back some memories. I'll just say that. And I remember the day I got shot and we actually walked back out to the road to go get help. I remember it being really quick, and my cousin Jason knew exactly where to go. But today, we didn't get lost, but we had to pause and be like, all right, which way was it? And I remember this walk today seemed a lot longer than it did on that, on that day. And it's just kind of just an experience. I still cannot believe that these ballistic bottles were still there. I'm keeping them as a souvenir now. I can't believe these were still there. I was not expecting that at all. Like, I was shocked. We are up there in the mountains. We just passed a sign that said 9,710 feet of elevation. Neither one of us remember this part of the ride because we're in this final 10 miles from where I shot my hand into Victor, which is the town you enter back into civilization. We don't remember it because my cousin was just tearing down this road in his Jeep to get me help as quickly as possible. There's no cell phone service anywhere in here. And we're both going like, yeah, we don't remember this at all. It's just a nice ride. Trees are changing colors. Yeah, it's just a real nice ride. And one of the other things that I'm remembering this time that's different than last time, that fateful trip when I shot my hand in 2021, we came right from the airport in Denver. Jason picked me up, and then we came right out here, and we hadn't eaten anything yet. We always said we'll get out of Phantom Canyon, we'll eat something later, whatever. But I arrived into the airport in Denver this morning. I was pretty hungry, and so we ate right away when we got to Colorado Springs, or in the Colorado Springs area. We ate at Wiener Schnitzel, which is like a chili dog, hot dog, corn dog restaurant. It's so good. I highly recommend it. It's a chain, but it's only in certain states out west. We ate there, so like we're going through all this, and I'm full. We're not hungry at all. And I definitely remember being so hungry last time, not having eaten all day, and then ending up in the hospital. And then I was starving in the hospital, and they wouldn't give me any food because they said before surgery I couldn't eat anything. And finally they gave me a sandwich, and just all these memories that I haven't thought about in a while are just flooding back today. I guess my overwhelming emotion right now is I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that I have a functional hand for the rest of my life. And the other thing I want to mention is I did go back just a couple days ago and rewatch that video from where I shot myself and describing everything. And my overwhelming reaction to that was I was pretty dang dramatic. I know I just shot a 9mm bullet clear through my hand and out the other side. But I was pretty dramatic, especially the clips of me in the hospital. I wish I had toned it down a little bit, but I guess that was just my real reaction at the time. But yeah, so we're headed to Victor, Colorado. We're gonna see if we can find the parking space where my cousin parks the Jeep. Well, we called 911 and waited for the ambulance to come. We'll take you through there. And then, back then they took me to the hospital in Woodland Park, which is a few towns away, still up here in the mountains. But right now, after we do that, we're gonna go to Cripple Creek, and which is a casino town up here in the mountains, a little bit bigger than Victor, but still small. Go see some casinos, and then depending on which way we drive back to Jason's place after this, we may or may not go by the Woodland Park Hospital. Just depends if we go that way. But I will check in with an update in a little bit. All right, we're back to a paved road. We're in Victor, Colorado. And this is where the ambulance came and got me when we got back to cell phone reception. Right up here on the main street somewhere. We're gonna see if we can find the spot. It's a small town, we should be able to. It's only like population, I think it was like 326 when I looked it up. I think it was that street right over there with that big museum building. I'm pretty dang sure that's where we stopped and where the ambulance came. Yeah, it was right around here somewhere. This is not a big town. The day it happened was, I believe, a Saturday. Saturday or a Sunday, and it was like a bunch of fancy looking people having an outdoor art festival just right on, I believe it was this street right over here. Yep, because it had on-street parking. We were right up here next to one of these buildings, like where that black F-150 is.
And I completely took out that curb when I made the turn.
Oh, did you? I don't even remember that. Yeah, we were right, no, we were one block further up. We were on this road, parked on the right-hand side. I think we were either right here or one block no, we were right here. That building looks familiar. I think we were right there. And that's where we called the ambulance. Victor, Colorado. All right, so right there is where we parked, where the ambulance came and got me, right there. So we just spent about the last 3 hours casino hopping in Cripple Creek. It was a really fun time. I love the casinos here. We both had a really good time. They were pretty loose, like the slot machines were paying out, you know, playing our penny slots. We played some roulette. Very, very, very good time. I'm up enough that I can probably pay for dinner for the both of us and call it good. Here's a little shot of downtown Cripple Creek. Most of it's kind of behind us. We're heading out of town. It's about 6 p.m. here in Colorado time. We have about 2.5 hours over to Jason's place for the night. Just beautiful mountains. Being a Florida boy, I'm not used to this, but it was just a really great way to cap off the day. And we got the trip that, you know, we were supposed to have 4 years ago when I shot my hand and ended up at the hospital. So we kind of are still out in the middle of nowhere. Victor, Colorado, which is right up the street behind us, that's a small town of 326 people. And that's where the ambulance came and got me 4 years ago. And then 10 minutes up the road from that is Cripple Creek, where we just were, which is bigger. Has about 5 casinos. None of them are that big. There's one medium, decent-sized one, but the rest are pretty small. We still enjoyed them. And they have a gas station, convenience store here, a few little restaurants, but there's still just not that much here. So we have a good ride to get back to, populated areas. All right, so here is the hospital that they took me to in the ambulance when I shot my hand right there. Pikes Peak Regional Hospital, UC Health. Yeah, I think I probably said this in the last video, but what I remember about that hospital is there was an older gentleman in the ambulance that was one of the medics that took me from Victor to right there. And it was, I don't know, it was at least, it was like 35 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. And he was trying to calm me down, and he was lying to me. And he's like, oh, it's not that bad. You just have a flesh wound. You're going to go in and get some stitches. You'll be out in a couple hours. And so I think he was just trying to calm me down. So I go in there thinking, okay, this guy with all this experience doing this for a long time said it's not that bad. And they bring me in. They give me x-rays. And then the doctor comes in. And this is Memorial Day weekend. Not a ton of staff is there. So the doctor comes in the emergency room, and she goes, all right, you have multiple broken bones. Your hand is mush. It's honestly pretty bad. We're not doing this here. You're going to Colorado Springs to the level 1 trauma unit where they have a hand surgeon there. And I'm like, what? The guy told me it's not that bad. And then she was just, I don't know if it was because she was working the holiday. I don't know if it's because she had no sympathy for what happened to me or what, but she just said it just so matter-of-factly like that and left the room. I still remember this today. All right, so it's later at night. I was going to just pick up the vlog tomorrow, but here it is. This is the Springfield Hellcat 9mm pistol that shot the round through my hand, and it was not the gun's fault. The gun's fine. It was bad ammunition, and the fact that my hand found its way to where it shouldn't have been. It's unloaded right now. It's been checked by 2 people. It's definitely unloaded. Yeah, there it is. Just, honestly, Springfield is not a bad brand. Like I said, the gun was not the issue. It's a good American brand. there it was. I remember I was holding it like this, like right kind of between my legs down here, and my hand just. Oh, I remember the sights. And so Jason was just telling me it's just been sitting in his gun safe for 4 years. I was the last person to shoot this gun, and this gun has only fired 2 rounds ever. The first one that went through that orange bottle target, and the second one that went through my hand, and it has been here ever since. And you know, I told Jason, I'm like, if you're ever going to get rid of this thing, sell it to me so that it stays in the family, because all the backstory and the history. Would I ever carry it? Probably not, given what happened. I'm more of a Glock guy. But yeah, had to throw that in the vlog. Nothing wrong with the gun. It was not the gun's fault. A little bit strange to be holding it again, but hey, life goes on. It's the next day. We went back to Jason's place last night in the Denver area. And now we're up in Central City, Blackhawk area, Colorado, the other casino town. And it is snowing. I don't know if you can see it, but it's snowing. I don't know if you can see it. It's hard to see, but the sun's out, but it is snowing a little bit. For a Florida boy like me, I've been freezing all morning. I've literally been freezing my ass off. But having a lot of fun in the process. Alright, so I realized this video didn't really have a proper ending. It kind of just cut out when we were at the casinos this morning. It's 10:30 at night. I'm back at the airport. I got a red-eye flight around midnight back to Florida. I'm flying nonstop Frontier, Denver to Tampa. And we just kind of had a really good, relaxing kick-around day. We got done at the casinos. We went to the horse track at Arapahoe Park. And I kind of just chose not to vlog much today. Wanted to just hang out with my cousin, who I haven't seen in a while, and had some fun at the horse track at Arapahoe Park in Denver. Whenever I get back there, I'll do a video about that one. But again, thank you for watching the video, and if you're new here, welcome, and I'll catch you in the next one.